Friends, today we're going to be making some scarecrows. We're going to be using lines and shapes to make our scarecrows. What you're going to use is a pencil to start with. For this video, Miss Plumber's using a Sharpie, but you will be using a pencil. I always use Sharpie in my videos so that you can see the directions. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna come down from the top and we're gonna do this line at the top of my scarecrow's hat here. So I don't wanna come right in the middle of the paper. It's gonna be a little bit above that. What I'm gonna do is a curved line, a little bit above that halfway point, and it does not touch the edges. See that? All right, and we don't wanna make it too small either. We're gonna do an upside down U that comes and touches this line from here to here. So I'm gonna make sure too that I don't go down too far because I need room for the shoulders later. So I'm gonna do that curve and it's gonna connect to the top like this. Perfect. Okay, friends, now what we're gonna do is work on the hat a little more. So remember that line we started with? We're gonna come out on each side and just make it a little longer. Okay, now we're gonna come below that line and put our pencil about right here, and we're gonna come around like this, come around down to the other line, come below that line and back. So again, I come below this line, I curve around it, this is just the top of the hat, and then I come back. Now we're gonna do kind of like a square for the top. You can do a rectangle if you want a pointy hat instead of a squared hat. So for my square, it's gonna come up, across, and down. And I try to stop and end at the same point. Okay, now that we have that done, what we're gonna do is work on the shoulders. So I'm gonna come down here and where that curve is, try to imagine where his neck would be. You're gonna do a curve that comes from here and goes all the way down to the bottom. And then now you're gonna do one on this side. Try to start at the same point and come all the way down. All right, that's looking great, friends. We're now gonna do some V's for his collar. So we're gonna come from the middle, and we're gonna do a V that comes up and down. And then come from here. All right, now a lot of times your scarecrow is gonna have some arms, so we're gonna draw a line to represent the arms. We're gonna do two lines that come across. Okay, now we're gonna do the face. So for the eyes, I'm going to be drawing the eyes, and the eyes are going to be drawn buttons. Do any shape you want. This one was done with circles. Maybe, you know what, I'm gonna do some square buttons. So I'm gonna do one here, and then one on the other side. And then for my buttons, I'm gonna do the little holes you see in the buttons. Now normally there's like 4 little holes where you would thread your yarn. And there's my scarecrow's buttons. Now I'm gonna do his nose, and his nose is the same thing. You can do any shape. I'm just gonna do a triangle for mine. So my triangle is gonna be upside down V with a line that connects at the bottom. We're gonna give him circles for his cheeks, and then we're gonna do a curved line that connects those. On that line, we're just gonna do some up and down lines to make it look like his mouth is sewn in there with some thread. If there's anything you wanna add, like sometimes friends want to add a flower to their scarecrow, in the scarecrow's hat, or draw a feather, you can do that. Okay, now we're gonna draw some buttons. So for the buttons on the shirt, you're gonna just do any 2 shapes. And then in those shapes, the same, just like the eyes, we're gonna do some dots. And then I just kind of want to draw a line in between mine to look like his shirt's closed. Any patches, we're gonna wait. And then we also are gonna wait on the hair, because we'll draw that in with some crayon and then maybe glue a little yarn in there. So there we go. We used a bunch of lines and shapes to make our scarecrow. These are the first few directions.